Commercial aircraft usually have their wings angled backwards. That's why they're also called swept wings. This shape helps planes be as fast as they are. The air moves over a wing at a higher speed than under it. This creates shock waves that would otherwise slow the plane down. But these unique swept wings miraculously, kidding, it's just physics, it reduces the airflow above the wing. There are no more shock waves, and the plane can reach incredible speeds.
Don't be mad at me, 'cause I don't ever wanna be what I don't have to be, yeah. I die happily, knowing that I never only give you half of me, yeah. Take me, but take your time, 'cause I don't wanna spend the rest of my life. So just vibe with me, take a seat, let it loose and just ride with me. I just wanna be me, be free, catch a vibe, good company. I just wanna be me, be free. If you don't be mad at me, 'cause I don't ever wanna be what I don't have to be, yeah. I die happily, knowing that I never only give you half of me, yeah. Take me, but take your time, 'cause I don't wanna spend the rest of my life. So just vibe with me, take a seat, let it loose and just ride with me. I just wanna be me, be free, catch a vibe, good company. I just wanna be me, be free. If you want, you can come with me. Don't be mad at me, 'cause I don't ever wanna be what I don't have to be, yeah. I die happily, knowing that I never only give you half of me, yeah. Don't be mad at me, 'cause I don't ever wanna be what I don't have to be, yeah. I die happily, knowing that I never only give you half of me, yeah.
But why is the entire wing tilted upward instead of being perfectly parallel with the ground? This upward angle is crucial for the airplane's stability. That stability is at risk when a jet comes across some turbulence that can make it roll to either side. When that happens, the more upward wing gets less lift and naturally goes down. The wing that rolled downward becomes more parallel to the ground and generates more lift, making it go up. And voila! The plane levels out on its own, all thanks to the wing's upward tilt. Summer is warmer because we're closer to the sun. Nope, not at all. During summer, the sun is above the horizon for up to 17 hours a day. But during the winter, it's just 6 hours. This happens because the axis of the Earth is tilted at an angle. So at one time of the year, the northern part of the Earth catches more sunlight, and at another time, our planet is covered in gold. Really? About 20 million tons of gold can be found inside our very own planet and in the seas. If all this precious metal could be extracted, it would be enough to cover the entire surface of the planet in a 2-foot layer of gold. And if we gave everyone an equal piece, each one of Earth's inhabitants would get 9 pounds of this treasure. But don't rush out to dig up your backyard just yet. The metal is extremely diluted. You can only get a gram of gold for every 100 million tons. The main reason why most planes are white is that this color reflects sunlight better than any other. This prevents planes from overheating. It's called a low wing. Firstly, if you install the engine under low wings, it'll be closer to the ground and easier to repair. Secondly, the wings will take on part of the shock in case of a hard landing. And if the plane falls into the water, then the wings become a life-saving pillow. By the way, a plane can stay afloat from 10 minutes to 60 hours. It all depends on the model of the plane, weather conditions, and the pilot's skills. There are 6 Mars exploration missions on or around the Red Planet at the moment. Does that mean that Mars is inhabited by robots? The little green men aren't saying. Moon rocks have a super slow erosion rate, about 0.04 inches for every 1 million years. That's why the Apollo astronauts' footprints left on the moon are likely to stay there for 10 to 100 million years. The coldest temperature ever recorded on Earth was minus 144 degrees Fahrenheit. It was captured by satellite thermal infrared mapping in Antarctica. If you were to breathe in such cold air, your lungs would literally freeze. Well, that would be unpleasant. In 1898, 14 years before Titanic sailed off, a novel about a ship called Titan came out. The ship in the book sank after striking a, wait for it, iceberg. That's just too weird. When Neil Armstrong sent his application to become an astronaut, it arrived too late. Luckily, one of his friends managed to slip in the form along with the others. neutron stars are so dense that just a teaspoon of their material would weigh 1 billion tons. These heavy guys can also spin up to 43,000 times per minute. Snow is made of ice crystals. It means it can be classified as a mineral. The only problem is that snow can't keep its form at room temperature. There are around 16 million storms on Earth every year, and 2,000 of them are happening right at this minute. Outer space isn't a perfect vacuum. It contains not only stars and planets, but also clouds of interstellar dust, space plasma, and cosmic rays. Those are atom fragments dashing from the outskirts of the solar system. If you're flying at night, you may see flashing lights on your airplane's wings. The light on the left wingtip is red, and the one on the right is green. That lighting scheme helps pilots figure out the direction of oncoming planes in the dark and avoid a collision. The green and red lights on commercial aircraft must be on from sunset to sunrise. Double rainbows appear when two reflections happen inside the same drop of water. That's also the reason why the second arc has its colors reversed. Red pandas have no close living relatives. Their nearest family members lived around 3 to 4 million years ago. It takes a photon 4,000 years to travel from the sun's core to its surface. Yet it only takes 8 minutes for it to cover the distance from the sun to Earth. Sounds like the sun is rather sticky, huh? If you uncoil the human DNA, it would stretch for 10 billion miles, which is 40,000 times more than the distance between the Earth and the Moon. Earth gets more energy from the sun in 1 hour than people spend in 1 year. During the past 15 years, we've started using 20% more solar energy. It might seem like a big deal, but it's just 0.7% of the amount of energy humans use every year. If we decided to compress the Earth's timeline into 1 year, humans would appear on December 31st at 11:59 and 23 seconds. Yep, late to the party, but glad we made it. Both of the elements water consists of are among the most abundant stuff in the universe. We think water is scarce only because we rarely found it on our neighboring planets. But science proposes there are lots of huge worlds having up to half of their mass as water. To compare, our planet's mass is only 0.02% water. One phenomenon people should be worried about while exploring space is cold welding. If two pieces of the same kind of metal touch in space, they bond and get permanently stuck together. It doesn't happen on Earth since water and air keep pieces separate. Starfish can not only regenerate their lost limbs, but even a limb can regenerate the whole starfish. Well, that's cool. The Moon is probably a chunk of the Earth. Before our planet had its cosmic companion, scientists believed that the early Earth was all alone in its path around the Sun. Then, about 4 billion years ago, when the Earth was still just a baby, a gigantic space rock the size of Mars and with the lovely name Theia collided with our planet. As a result, a huge chunk of the Earth broke away and later became our satellite, the Moon. And the tallest mountain on the planet isn't what you think. Now, this may seem shocking, but the title of the tallest mountain in the world might be stolen from Mount Everest. No doubt this enormous mountain reaches 29,029 feet above sea level, and there's no other mountain on Earth that stands so tall. But there is Mauna Kea, a mountain in Hawaii. It stands proud with its peak just about 13,802 feet above sea level. There are more living things on and inside your body than there are people on Earth. And not just twice or 3 times so. The numbers are simply mind-blowing. Speaking of which, bacteria make up from 2 to 9 pounds of your body weight. It's hard to imagine how many of them there are in your body. There's an unusual forest along the coast of the North Atlantic. Because of the strong Arctic winds, all the vegetation grows teeny tiny here to protect itself from the bitter cold. Within this mini forest, you can find the dwarf willow, the smallest tree species. Its height is only 2 inches, but it has wide leaves half an inch in size to maximize the absorption of sunlight. Now, you wouldn't know it, but your peripheral vision is almost entirely black and white. It's because you have more of those color-detecting tools called cones in the center of your retina than at the sides. When you look at the world, the picture projected on the back wall of the eye is upside down. Luckily, the video card in your brain corrects that. Our eyes have specific tools just to see red, blue, and green. Everything else is a combination of these colors. In total, we perceive about 7 million colors, and there are still plenty that our eyes don't pick up.
If we could get rid of the empty space in atoms, all of humanity, all 7 billion of us, would fit into an apple. And no, it wouldn't be a tight squeeze either. That's because atoms are actually 99.9% empty space. To help you imagine this, if a nucleus was the size of a volleyball, the nearest electrons would be as far away as half a mile. This means everything and everyone is, in fact, just emptiness.
Things look like they're going to serve you for ages, and they probably will. But are you sure you want them in a couple of years? Tastes change. You might want to start a renovation, and then you'll have an additional headache of trying to sell your massive furniture. Even if you manage this challenging feat, you'll get just a fraction of the original cost. Giraffes have only 7 vertebrae in their enormous necks, but that's the same number humans have.